Welcome to the Georgia State Courses and Pathways webinar. We have a lot of information for you today to learn more about Georgia's latest information technology cluster updates and computer science requirements. So I see a couple people still joining. I will wait a minute or so. I do want to get started on time. We have a lot of info, but just to let people join. While we wait for people to join, I can introduce myself. My name is MR. I'm a PD specialist here at CodeHS. I'm joined by Lindsay Roberts. She'll be mostly in the background, managing any questions that you may have and dropping links in the chat. We have a lot of links today because CodeHS has a bunch of resources, and then the Department of Education has a bunch of resources as well. So keep an eye on the chat to watch for links. So like I said, this webinar has a lot of links and resources. You will have access to the slides after the webinar. During the webinar, we'll paste links in the chat real time. And you can also have this have the slides up to follow along with the links if you would like. Feel free to open up the slides or scan the QR code with your phone to have them handy. There's also going to be a resources slide at the end. So you'll get a copy of all of this at the end, but you can also have this open during the webinar as well. You can ask questions in the chat. That is fine. There's also a Q&A. So if you have something that you don't want to get lost in the chat, feel free to use the Q&A, and Lindsay will answer your questions as they come in, or choose one to answer live, or follow up with our team if we need to do that. And now is a good time to sign up for a CodeHS account if you don't have one. If you do have one, you can go ahead and log in. And if you don't have one, you can sign up for a free one at codehs.com/signup. We will be using resources from the site. So I do recommend creating a teacher account if you don't have one. It is free. Everything that we are going to take a look at today is free. So I'll give maybe a minute just to make sure you're logged into CodeHS or signed up, because we will take a look at some resources that are most useful if you have an account. Okay, so the first thing we'll take a look at, if you're still signing up for an account or logging in, that's fine. We'll get started. We'll get started though. So we'll take a look at some Georgia pathways and courses. This quote here: due to the nature of the discipline and its prolific growth, computer science is becoming the bridge between career, technology, and agricultural education and academic pathways. Basically, Georgia has recognized the growth and the expansion of computer science and has invested a lot into making that happen. And CodeHS has a lot of schools that work with use CodeHS courses. So the CodeHS team is heavily invested in developing out this pathway. So I'm going to, during this webinar, go into detail about what courses we currently have and kind of how that fits in with the greater pathway. If you'd like to view the full Georgia CS plan, Lindsay dropped that into the chat. I'll open it up here. This is a huge document. Feel free to bookmark it. It's not, we're not going through this the whole time today, but this is a working document from the Georgia Department of Education that just goes over the general landscape of computer science in Georgia. So that is something you can take a look at, and I wanted to drop as a resource here. The quote on this slide was taken from this document, which you'll see a lot of statistics and just kind of broad information about the computer science plan being developed in Georgia. Basically, in 2019, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed Senate Bill 108, which requires all high schools to phase in computer science classes by the 2024-2025 school year. So Georgia is making a huge push in developing CS programs, And CodeHS has an ongoing initiative to develop courses to meet the needs of these Georgia programs. So for Georgia teachers, I would recommend bookmarking this page, codehs.com/state/Georgia. This is one that it's pretty much the hub for everything Georgia that we've got. All of the main CodeHS resources available for Georgia are going to be on this page, including the previous link to the comprehensive state plan near the bottom. We're going to be breaking down all of these resources throughout today's webinar, but just so you know that this is a good landing page, and if you choose to use any of these courses, this would be a good place to go back to. And then one thing I wanted to highlight is that all of the CodeHS curriculum is available for free for teachers and their students. Everything we're going to look at today is going to be free. We do have a pro plan that has lesson plans and advanced grading and class management tools and things like that. But this webinar, everything that we go over is going to be on the free plan. So just be aware of that. So on this page, you'll find, my screen is a little small, but you will find all of the main Georgia courses that we have. You'll find some facts about Georgia CS and some statistics. You'll find a sample Georgia CS pathway. And again, we're going to go over this as the webinar goes on, but just an overview of this page. You'll see a standards framework that shows the alignment for the existing courses and how much, some of our courses are 100% aligned and built out to match. Some of them still are missing a couple components, but you can still see that for advanced cybersecurity, we don't have 100% alignment yet, but we do have 76.3. So this can be something you can use as you're planning a program. You can use this to inform the courses that you would choose. There's also a link for the Georgia Certification Prep course, or the GACE. We offer an online CS prep course, and there's a link to that here as well. So really, this page is just the landing page for everything Georgia. A lot of the policies that we looked at, the CS plan that was dropped in the chat earlier, will be linked here. So this is just a really good one to bookmark as you are thinking about your pathway. And I want to show that in general, navigating CodeHS if you are new to it. So these are the courses up here. And in general, clicking on any of these courses will bring you to that course page where you can also view the syllabus and explore the course. The syllabus is also a free resource that is available on every course. And in the syllabus for every course, you'll see an overview. You'll see the learning environment, kind of how the lesson and the course is set up overall. You'll see the programming environment and what you'll see prereqs. I don't think any of the courses we'll look at today have any official prereqs, but if they do, it will be here. And then every syllabus will also have a course breakdown that has all of the units. And then within the units, it will have an estimate of how long each module will take as a pacing guide. So you can expect to find a similar layout for every syllabus, whether it's a quarter-long course or a year-long course. You can expect that every course overview page will have the syllabus and the ability to explore the course. And then kind of just an overview of the modules that are inside it, and a demo program where you can see what your students could potentially make. And then some teacher tools at the bottom if you want to add it to yourself, add it to your courses. So just a quick overview of those pages. And then I'll go through with some more information about each of the, breaking down the pathway. So CodeHS courses align with Georgia middle school and high school computer science standards for a robust grades 5 through 12 pathway. So we'll take a closer look at each of these pathways and the courses that make them up. The 5th grade one, World of Computing and Intro to Programming with Carol, are pretty generic courses, but then each one after that for 6th, 7th, and 8th up till 12th grade are, there's courses that are fully aligned to Georgia state standards. So this is our pathway for Georgia middle school students. One thing to know is that the sequence of these courses can actually be in any order. They don't have to follow the sequence listed on this pathway. And there are no prerequisites for any of these courses. They're self-contained. You don't need to do one and then take the other for 6th through 8th. But here's just the recommended one from CodeHS. It's the recommended one from the recommended pathway, and it's the one I'll be going over in this webinar. And just to know that all three of these middle school courses are designed to be taught in a 9-week rotation in 45-minute daily classes. So that is that's how the courses are paced out. So for 6th grade, we recommend Georgia Foundations of Secure Information Systems. This is a foundation in information, so they'll learn about networking, some cybersecurity basics, and then really a lot of the courses, and Georgia in particular wants to connect it to career. So even as early as our 6th grade courses, they'll have the opportunity to explore careers and research, IT and technical support type careers, appropriate for their age level, but just starting to get them thinking early about what types of options are available for careers in IT. For 7th grade, we recommend the Georgia Foundations of Computer Programming. This is designed for complete beginners with no previous background in computer science. The course is highly visual, dynamic, interactive. It's really engaging for new coders. And it provides an exploratory foundation in programming and a lot of hands-on activities to learn coding. So this is a middle school course, 40 contact hours. And again, these links here are included in the slides, which you'll receive after this webinar. We won't be dropping these links, but if you wanted to go back to that states page and just browse, so I'm back on codehs.com/states/Georgia, and you can click into any of these courses and you can view the same links that are on the slides. And then when you get this later, you'll have all the links there too. For 8th grade, in this course, students will complete a web design module where this is the Georgia Foundations of Interactive Design. So they'll learn HTML, CSS, browsers, and just kind of a basic overview of how the internet works. They'll also create a portfolio website. And then the second half of the course is where they learn the basics of game design with a final project of creating their own game using block coding. So it's a really interactive course where they would develop a website and then develop a game with block coding. So this is a quarter-long course, 33 contact hours. And that's what we'd recommend for our 6 through 8 pathway. So for the IT pathways for high school, CodeHS courses satisfy 2 complete Georgia pathways, computer science pathway and the web development pathway. So we have courses that are 100% aligned to fulfill computer science pathway and the web development pathway. Lindsay dropped the Georgia guide in the chat, and this is a CodeHS guide. I'm going to open it on my screen here too. This is just a nice compiled of all the resources that we have available, and I want to draw attention to this Georgia IT pathways. So you'll see the computer science pathway. Does CodeHS have a fully aligned course? Yes, for all 3. And then the same for web development. You'll see that there's 3 courses in the web development pathway: Intro to Software Tech, Computer Science Principles or APCSP, and web development, and we offer all 3 of those. And then even for the pathways where we don't offer all 3, you will see that there is at least some fulfillment. So we have some cybersecurity, we offer partial pathways for all of them. And so if you are either know what you're going to be teaching, or if you're planning out your pathway now and working on a computer science program, you can use this to help you just see how close that CodeHS can get you to the pathway that your school or district is pursuing. So this is another one that I would keep handy, the Georgia guide. I think it's a really good condensed information and in a nice format of just all of the stuff that's available for Georgia. So I'll go over the computer science pathway, which is one of the ones that's complete. Basically in 9th or 10th grade, they can complete Georgia Intro to Software Tech, and then they can either take Georgia Computer Science Principles or AP Computer Science Principles. They would both satisfy that requirement, and then they can take AP CSA Nitro. For the web development pathway, they could take Georgia Intro to Software Tech, and then CSP or AP CSP, and then Georgia Web Development. And that's an advanced web development course. So one major update within the Georgia course offerings or course catalog is that Georgia Introduction to Digital Technology is retiring this year per the Georgia DOE. So the link that Lindsay just dropped in the chat, trying to open it here. Here we go. This is from the Georgia Department of Education, and this is a link to the information technology clusters. So this page will have all of the pathways, and you'll see here where IDT is retiring, and that was the foundational course for a long time. But as they've built out this pathway, they split it. So it's no longer just one all-in-one course. They made a full intro to software tech course and a full intro to hardware tech course. And you'll see that one of those courses is a foundational course for a lot of the pathways. So this will, these courses are, they're both available on CodeHS, and they are integral to a lot of these pathways. So in this page in particular, we'll have, if you click into any of these, it will give you the Georgia, kind of overview of the course and the standards and everything like that. So this is another page from the Georgia Department of Education that I think would be handy to bookmark. I referred to it a lot while preparing this webinar, and I think there's a lot of good information here. And I did want to just highlight that this is retiring on the 30th. And along with that, the CodeHS course will also be archived, so you won't be able to reuse it. You will, but both of these courses are available now, Intro to Hardware Tech and Intro to Software Tech. They're released, they're ready to use now. So you are welcome to enroll in the courses and preview them, even if you haven't adopted them for this year. If you wanted to enroll in a course, I'll show how to do that again really quick. So I'm back on my states page, and I'm gonna say I wanna enroll in Georgia Intro to Software Technology. I'm gonna scroll to the bottom, and this action down here, enroll myself. I think personally, this is one of the best ways to check out a course. The syllabus is really handy too to get kind of an overview, but I think when you enroll yourself in a course and then you'll be able to view it, you'll see what your students would see. So you'll see how it's broken down. You can work through the activities, you'll see the videos and the quizzes, and this is the same format that your students would see as they work through the course. And so I think as a teacher, it's really good to just prepare yourself in that way. Some of it might be stuff that's familiar, and if there's things that are new, such as the operating systems and software or the web development unit, a lot of the stuff might be new compared to IDT. So I would recommend just checking it out and working through it as your students would to help you prepare for that. And just a reminder that the CodeHS course of IDT will also be archived after this year. So you will have to, you'll be able to use either IST or HT. So the Intro to Software Technology course is the foundational course for a lot of Georgia pathways. It's the foundational course for cloud computing, computer science, game design, Internet of Things, programming, and web development pathways. So it's a really foundational one designed for high school students to understand, communicate, and adapt to a digital world. It is kind of a broader overview, and it is designed to be 1 year and fulfill the requirements for that year of computer science. And the Intro to Hardware Technology has a similar foundational place in the pathways, but it's the foundational course for information support and services, networking, and cybersecurity pathways. There's also the Georgia Foundations of Artificial Intelligence course. This explores the foundations of AI in society, in the workplace, any kind of ethical implications of that. There's some programming, data science, mathematical reasoning, and all of this would be aligned to the requirements, specified by the Georgia DOE. There's also Georgia Computer Science Principles. So this would introduce students to the foundational concepts of CS and programming in JavaScript. It's 1 year, and it's a similar course to the AP course, but there's one that is specific to Georgia. And the Georgia Web Development course is kind of a capstone course in that pathway intended to teach students the fundamentals of web development in a project-based environment. So they'll do HTML and CSS, but also things like web hosting, Firebase, JavaScript, some kind of more advanced applications of web development beyond just learning, building a website, but also like how does that exist on the internet? How do you use data? Things like that. So that was a brief overview of the Georgia courses. Wanted to plug the Georgia State page again because just to highlight the alignment, CodeHS maps all the standards from Georgia to our courses. So clicking on this link, oh gosh, I'm just going to type it. You can also type codehs.com/Georgia if that's easier to remember. It'll take you to the same page. And I'll show quickly how to use the standards frameworks. So in case you are teaching something that isn't fully aligned, like advanced cybersecurity, I'll just show you quickly how to identify. So for Georgia Advanced Cybersecurity, we'll go ahead and choose Let's choose Advanced Cybersecurity. So you can see that it's 76 standards in the framework, 58 are mapped, so they're aligned, and so it's 76% mapped. And then when you scroll down, you will see which standard and which lesson corresponds to it. And as you scroll, you will find some that don't have alignment. So this can be really helpful if you do see a course that is almost aligned, but not, it might be missing some pieces, but even if it would help you get started with, 76% of what you would need, and then you would just need to find something else to fill in the gap here. And that's how you can use this page to help identify where are the gaps and how could you fill them in. And again, our team is like heavily invested in building out things for Georgia. So keep an eye out on this page and in newsletters and things for continuing developments to increase alignment with Georgia courses and pathways. One thing to highlight as well, CodeHS does offer a comprehensive online professional development for Georgia assessments for the certification of educators computer science, mouthful, but the GACE CS prep course. So with full alignment to the standards covered this exam, teachers will be well prepared. It's a 55-hour course. It's online. It's made up of short learning modules, including video tutorials, programming, debugging problems, some grading practice. So you'll see some links here for just some general information about the course. And the prep course, let's see. I'm just going to go to codehs.com/Georgia. And if you scroll down, there will be a link to the Georgia certification prep course. And again, you'll get the slides with all the links as well. But if you wanted to inquire about enrolling in this course, this is the page to do it on. And on this last slide, we do have a bunch of links for you. I'm going to drop this access the slides, and we're on slide number 25. So all the links that we went through today are going to be included here. Everything from the Georgia DOE, all of the CodeHS Georgia guides, which can be really helpful to share with schools and administrators in kind of a compact format. So you'll see things from CodeHS, you'll see this Georgia CS funding and grants info page. And if you are interested in learning about Pro, whether you are a new user to the site or an experienced user, the Pro plan, especially there's a ton of stuff on the Pro plan. And if you are interested in upgrading, you can check out codehs.com/pro and get in touch with their team. And in general, on CodeHS, the support team is really great. So if you're new to CodeHS, or if you've had any questions about, if you start exploring these things and you run into a question, look out for the blue chat icon on our site that can get you in touch with our support team, and they will have an answer for you super fast. So as you're browsing CodeHS, most pages will have this blue icon. Not all of them will for navigation purposes, so it doesn't block, features, but most of them will. And you can feel free to send our team a message about literally anything, and they will be super happy to help you get started or answer any questions. Or if you have any questions about standards or anything like that, you can reach out to our team. And if you are interested in bringing CodeHS to your school or district, go ahead and go to codehs.com/learn more. That will put you in touch with our team, and they can discuss options for rolling out CodeHS to your school or district. There's also some other ways to get in touch with other teachers. This Facebook group, CodeHS Educators, is super active. So if you're looking for a way to get, bounce ideas off of other teachers or just kind of chat with other teachers, share strategies, the CodeHS Educators group is very active. And we also have a number of upcoming webinars. It's AP season, so there's a lot of AP webinars and how to prepare students for the great task and things like that. Feel free to register for any other free webinars that we have coming up. And then we do have a couple minutes left. So I'll wait if any questions come in. But otherwise, thank you for coming. I hope this helped you learn more about what CodeHS is doing for Georgia and with Georgia. We have a lot of partnerships with them. And I hope this helped you think about your pathway, and any questions that you had were answered. And if not, feel free to ask them in the chat.